You know what's crazy is that this Bonnie Blue chick who is notorious and made a brand and name for herself for like sleeping with 1,000 guys in like one day. I think that number, give or take, is outrageous in itself. I mean, sleeping with one person, right, is was considered very sacred back in my day, and let alone bragging that you did so, and so publicly putting it on the internet for everyone to consume. I ask myself, like, why is it that I don't even follow this chick? I want nothing to do with her story, but this thing tends to find me and other men out there on social media, like right in front of you. Like every day, I'll get an article or a link or a hashtag suggestion, and maybe it's some of the model chicks that I follow, which I got to start unfollowing because it does me no good. It's probably suggesting me that content. But then again, on YouTube, when I go, I often see Bonnie Blue this, Bonnie Blue that. I think she was recently arrested in either Malaysia or Singapore, I believe, where she was riding a bus, like a bus or a caravan, and recruiting young boys to, get in the back seat and have at it, right? And I just don't know the audacity of how these chicks are thinking, and obviously they're not thinking that they think that they can go from America or wherever they are in the world to another foreign country, especially Western women, right? And think they can misbehave, and there's gonna be there's just gonna be off the it's gonna be a free pass. Like there's no repercussions. Like how could you think that? Like we as a society have fallen so far in the gutter that these young girls of today think that they can actually go out and act like this in foreign countries and escape. Like they are immune to the laws, immune to their other countries' culture and what people consider good manners and how you conduct yourself, code of conduct. There you go. How could you go to another country and act like a 304, right? Be a 304, not act, be a 304, right? And as much as I try to avoid it, if me as a grown man, I'm finding content like this that kind of infiltrates my brain, I take it for what it is, but then I also have to move past it really quick and shake my head like, how did we get here? How do we get here, guys? It's it's a very sad state of affairs, which is precisely why I never wanted to have kids, and I'm glad I actually didn't. Is because I cannot see myself raising them in today's society and what they're exposed to with social media, right? And everything around us is almost like soft porn, where everyone is essentially naked with their butt cheeks out, which is another video I need to do. Is why is it okay for young women and even teenagers to be posting thirst traps with their ass cheeks, their butt cheeks out like that, right? The tongs in between their butt lifted up so you can accentuate the shape of the backside, and straight posted on Instagram. I mean, I remember back in my day, Gen X, and even in the 80s and 90s, right? Like women used to have a lot more class back in the day. And I think what social media has done has exposed the vulgarity and has normalized people being naked on the internet. And if you incentivize and have a way for women to sell their bodies in exchange for money, why would they not do it if they can make a quick $1,000,000, right? See, with us guys, we don't have the luxury of selling a biological tool like that and cashing in on millions and millions of dollars. Now, what we do have is the physical tools by way of being an athlete, performing at a high level, right, and actually earning money the right way. Once again, it requires you to undertake the hero's journey, building the body, putting in the work in the gym, right, and then qualifying and competing across the board with top talent, not the effery that's going on with the corn industry, right? The only fools culture. We have to legitimately, in a classfully way, compete with other athletes and prove ourselves mano a mano. Kobe versus MJ LeBron, whatever, however you want to phrase this at, you get the point. Like we all have a hero's journey to take. And if we're lucky, then we make the cut. We get a contract of, let's just say, 12 million for 3 years, right? But these chicks are making 20 million just by posting their private parts. They're they're making millions of dollars, right, of subscription fees and exclusivity, and getting essentially piped out, and their youth being snatched from their bodies. And by the time they get to, off age, coming of age, let's just say 26, 27, 28, they decide to quit and want to get married. Their business is all over the internet. So when you are complaining about where have all the good men gone, I see a good man would not want to brand his legacy and attach his last name to someone who's been on the internet and given herself away to the devil like that, right? How many guys have entered into your system and have left you with their DNA? Essentially, that's how we men are. You talk about hypergamy. Well, men are driven biologically, repulsed, absolutely repulsed. So it's important for guys to really vet the girl they decide to get with. Um, you know, Unfortunately, in today's society, girls like Bonnie Blue, who consider themselves a role model, is sadly a role model, and her message is sticking with the rest of this young generation. And when I say young generation, don't be mistaken, because in thinking that it's limited to just 18 to 26 year 27-year olds, guys, the older chicks, they're not even chicks, the older women, right? Nothing against them, but they are all, not all, some are cheering each other on to break their marriages and file for the divorce and get right back on the streets and start selling themselves online and start joining the only fools culture, right? And so they think that they really have a shot at acting like a 19, 20-year old when in actuality you're 35, 40 plus, right? Now you're getting on only fools, right? And they're not doing so well. Winter is, in the words of Kevin Samuels, winter is here. This is cold. Like, it's subpar 50. It's like 51 Fahrenheit. And I'm about to wrap this video up because I'm losing my voice. Winter is here. You have to put in the work. Us guys, we know that we cannot follow in the footsteps of Bonnie Blue. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury. We're not in demand like that, which is why the oldest profession in the book always prevails. There's no lie there. And as bitter as that may sound to some of you, uh, girls out there, women listening in, right? It's a reality that that sells, and you all are capitalizing on it. I'm just a messenger that's pointing it out. Your future sons, are watching it all unfold. Your future daughters are seeing all of this as an example. And the sad and the scary part is all of this is normalized. All of this is normalized. Like, it's very normal to sell yourself online now. You see my point? It's like, this is the scary part. This is where we are today. It's very normal to be like Bonnie Blue, or be like Sophie Rain. She's another model. Or be like a friend, Aisha. The fact that I know all of this, it doesn't mean I have a problem. It's just there's so much infiltration of all of these types of chicks on the internet. It's like, it's hard to miss it, guys. In fact, Sophie Rain was compared to Stephen A. Smith, who's a broadcaster who makes a lot of money. And Sophie Rain made that 45 million or so in less time than this guy, Stephen A. Smith, who's dedicated his entire life with a very cool ass skill set, right, that he is deploying while he's on TV, right? So he spent his entire lifetime to make everything that Sophie Rain is making, but except that Sophie started making this money since she was like 19, 20. I believe she's 27, 28 now. But she's made all that money in less than half the time, right, of Stephen A. Smith's existence and his career path. So on one hand, it can be very easy to be a very pretty girl and get monetized and make your money. I get it, man. I'm not here to argue that, don't make your money. You may be very content. I would be happy making millions of dollars if I could. But us guys, like I said, we are not blessed with that ability to go sell ourselves online and cash in on millions of dollars and sell our private parts like that. We just don't have the luxury. That's not how we work. We compete and we all hope and aspire to be world class athletes. And so I want to end the video on a positive note for us guys, is that treat yourself like an athlete and watch how the world responds to you. I'm going to link that video that I made very recently, over a month ago, about exactly that topic. People treat me differently because of how I look, how I've taken care of myself, and also the mystery behind, damn, this guy, he is somebody. Like he shows up every single day and doesn't skip a beat, right? So you can be your best version. You don't have to be an only fools dude. But let's face it, we're not cut out for that kind of life. But I think the long game, when it comes to saving your spirit, your mind, becoming a better person, a son, a future husband, if you choose to marry, hopefully it's not Western woman, but if you choose to go down that route, you will have the power, okay? You'll have the wisdom, and make an honest living by being true to yourself versus selling yourself out, right? And these chicks are not happy. At the end of the day, they're not happy. Their bank account may be rich, right? They have temporarily bargained their happiness and bought their happiness with all this money they have. But at the end of the day, it's a sad life. It's pretty sad, and all of this is going to catch up to them. May not be today because they have sold themselves away for a temporary window of time. Time is something money cannot ever buy. You can always make the money back, but you're not going to be able to buy your 20s, right? That's the beauty of this game. And the long game, biology does favor men. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. It's freezing. I'm going to get out of here. Okay, thanks for walking with me. I might do a fireside chat video this afternoon from my fireplace. But until then, guys, I'm out.